Love is Blind. Yeah, I've been watching it and I haven't watched it for a while. And it suddenly dawned on me when I was watching it. It's not love is blind, is it? It's really attraction is blind. Because I've been there. I've been in a situation where I've just met someone, when they call it love at first sight. And you feel all the tingles, you feel the goosebumps. You think this is the person you're going to be with for the rest of your life. In a matter of maybe days, weeks, hours, you just have this connection. It's like a spiritual connection. It's like you just feel as though you can't do without that person. And that can be for days. And it will last as long as there are no challenges. That's when you know whether love is blind. And it's not even whether love is blind, that's whether you know you're in love. Because anyone can be attracted to anyone. It can be based on the physical, it can be based on the emotional, it can be based on the psychological. There are a lot of things that can make you be attracted to someone. And this latest episode with Emma Willis and her husband, there's a lady in there and, just I think a couple of days in, she's saying, I love you. And he's saying, I love you. And I know what that feeling is. I've been there. But it's not love. It really isn't love. It's an emotion. It's a feeling of overwhelmingness. It's something you cannot explain. The pheromones are going wild, but it's not love. Love is something that builds up over time. Attraction can be there, like I said, but until your feelings have been challenged, until you feel as though you're in a situation where love is unconditional, and that doesn't mean that someone can take the pee and take you for granted and that kind of stuff. That's not what it means. But it means about being able to work through challenges and falling back in love each time. Love is about those moments when you fall out of love and then you fall back in love. And when you fall back in love, you're even more attracted to that person than you were before. There's something about falling in love over and over again. I think there's a song like that. And until you've been there, you don't really understand what that means. But falling in love, because we're human, we have a tendency to be impatient, to be resentful, to be angry, to be frustrated by our partners. Because we both come from two different parts of the world. We don't know each other. We didn't know each other before we met. And because you didn't know each other before you met, even though you can have some similarities, you're still going to have a lot of differences. And that is what, regardless of whether you're the same colour, you're in the same country, wherever you are. It doesn't matter. People are different. They have different needs, different wants. And what might seem as though you're so compatible in the immediate, over time, those things where you thought you were compatible with, you'll find that those are learned behaviours. It's not really who you are. And that's why some relationships break up, because the individual hasn't found out who they are yet. They think they know who they are, but what they are is based on what they have been taught over time, what they have developed over time, what they believe over time because of what they have been taught, what they have been internalized, but it's not really who they are. Sometimes I think I know who I am. Most of the times I do. But there are times when I challenge my thoughts. I challenge who I am. And when I think, Myrna, you're a nice person. But if you was a nice person, you wouldn't be thinking like that. You wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't be like that. And then I ask myself, who is the real me? Is the real me this nice person who says hello, who smiles a lot, who interacts, who speaks softly sometimes? Or is the real me somebody who's aggressive, somebody who is not so nice, somebody who is impatient, somebody who has little tolerance, and therefore might not be a loving person or might be someone difficult to love? And you don't only find those things out when you're with somebody over time. And the same person that you're with may have the same intolerances, may have the same kind of shortcomings as you do. And when the two of them clash, you might think, oh my God, I've made a mistake. This is not love. But, like I said, it depends on how you straddle through relationships, how you manage relationships, how you resolve differences. That is what is important, and that is what develops into love. You'll reach a point where you say, I don't care what this person says or does. I love him or I love her, because you get to know the essence of the person, and that person has revealed their essence to you. So when I'm watching Love is Blind, it's good for entertainment purposes, but I think it should be titled differently, because as we've all seen, love, yes, they fall in love and they really believe it and they really mean it when they say, I want to marry you. But after a couple of days of living together, it's a totally different ball game. When they go to each other's houses, it's a totally different ball game. When they see each other's family, it's a totally different ball game. You know, you have a vision of this man and you just see this man, and then you go to his house and it's a little squat and it's full of flies and he's got all his clothes all over the place. Similarly, you fall in love with this girl who looks beautiful and she's got no vocabulary. When you take her to her house, it's full of cats and dogs and all over the place. If you don't like cats and dogs, what are you going to do? These are little questions you haven't asked in the interim. When you're getting to know someone, people leave out the really important questions. Do you like pets? Do you like children? Do you want to move to the south of France? Because that's what I would like to do. Would you be a stay-at-home mum? You know, with men, do you have problems if I can't do A, B, C, D, and E? These are the kind of things you have to work out before you go on to Love is Blind. Know the questions you want to ask and what answers you want to hear, so that you're much clearer, so you don't go in there with rose-coloured glasses thinking, oh yeah, this is the person. And then when you get home, you forgot, oh, I didn't ask him whether or not he washes up after he's finished eating. I didn't ask him whether or not he smokes. I didn't ask him whether or not he drinks a lot. I didn't ask him this, I didn't ask him that. Similarly with the women. You know, the men don't ask the right questions. I didn't ask her, what's the most important thing in her life? What does she want to do? Where does she see herself in 5 years' time? Does she have a problem with beards? Does she have a problem with tattoos? With him, does it matter if she's had 10 abortions? Does it matter if she's got kids? Some of these women, they don't find that the man's got kids until they leave the pods. Or the woman's got kids or the man's got kids, either way. But my point is that there are a lot of things that can change what they have called love on Love is Blind. There are a lot of factors that they don't factor in when they're in the pods. And I think they should really have those important questions. What's really important? Is it important that they go to church? Is it important that they believe in God? Does it matter that they're an atheist? You know, and I notice a lot of them, even though they see the challenges, they dismiss them. You know, and you cannot dismiss the challenges. If you know it's not going to work for somebody who lives in another country, why even start the relationship? Anyway, that's all I've got to say for now. I'm just blowing